Out of all the years that I have been reviewing games, I've had a great opportunity of being able to play Madden early for quite some time. This year, things were a little bit different as I got early access on, I think, the 5th or the 6th of August with a beta. And then that code expired, and then I was given a full retail version of the code as well. So that is why our review is a little behind, but I've got to say that I have enjoyed my time with Madden 27, and there are a few things that have changed from Madden 26. So today we're really going to talk about the Ultimate Team. We're going to talk about franchise mode, and we're going to talk about overall gameplay and online performance. I'm not getting into every individual detail of Ultimate Team, but we're going to start with Ultimate Team. So this year I went in a little bit more than what I usually would and played Ultimate Team. We were given the Ultimate Edition of the game, or the Deluxe Edition of the game, or I can't even remember honestly which one it was. But we were given 2,100 pass points with that version of the game. So I went ahead and got the Season 1 pass and got a good chunk of cards, a good chunk of players. My team's average is about at like 79%. But then the global launch of Madden came about. And now, for some reason, I have no access to that Season 1 pass. It's almost like it reset, and it's wanting me to spend another 1,600 points to gain access to the mainline pass, which is very confusing. And something else I noticed as well, it seems like the random draws, there was only so many times that I was getting like an overall, like a character that had an overall of like 80 to 85%. Most of the times, everything that I've been getting and drawing is like anywhere between 75 or 70 to like 78%. So, I mean, I get it, in that sense. And like, as you play and you gain XP and you play people online and complete these challenges or whatever, you gain the better possibility of getting cards that are drawing card packs that have good or better players available for your Ultimate Team. But I also feel like it feels like there's like, I don't know, like, I wouldn't say it's strictly a pay-to-win system, but it does seem that way. And that's just me being honest. It seems like there are some people that could easily just go on there and spend a ton of money and get, like, really great characters, and you have no chance, playing online. Now, I will say I had some really great online matches against people in Ultimate Team, and it felt more realistic than any football game I had ever played before. Like the challenge of catching the ball, the challenge of making the right play, and also having the challenge of the new dynamic weather system, changing the field of play during the game is a really crazy addition that makes Madden feel super realistic. So Ultimate Team was okay for me. It's not something that I really like to pour a lot of time into, to be honest with you, because, as I said, I feel like there's a lot of times you're going to pour a lot of time into that, and like if you don't continuously, stay on top of your team and your stats and like try to keep up with everyone else that plays Ultimate Team, then you get left behind. So the online servers and stuff like that were really great. Of course, at one point in time, when logging on and playing the earlier version of Madden, there was only like 11 people online. But of course, now the servers are more wide open. There's like 40-something thousand people that are online at one time. And I'm playing this and reviewing it on PlayStation. And I had some really great matches, but then I also had the same thing that I complain about every year with Madden. There's so many times that when you do good, that people will just drop out of the game. But I've done that as well, and it wasn't intentional. So there would be times that I'm trying to switch certain things about my team while I was playing online, and for some reason I'd get booted from the game, and then it would pop up as a loss. Or I think there were 2 times to where I was just like I didn't have time to complete the game, and I ended up having to leave or quit or concede the match, and it popped up as a loss, which that's on me, But there were so many times, like I played a game just the other day to where it was like 0-0, and it was the first quarter of the game, and I catch, do an interception on the team, and then the guy just like goes to the pause menu, concedes the game. I'm like, oh my God, bro, like it really bugs me. So that's the reason why a lot of times I only usually play with people that are on my friends list playing online. The franchise mode is something that is cool as well. I think that the franchise mode overall has made some really vast improvements. There's so much that you can do and so many things that you can manage in different styles, different ways than what you could 10 to 15 years ago with franchise mode or whatever it was called back in the day. I don't even think originally whenever it started it was franchise mode. I don't know. But it was, I feel like there's so much to do and there's so many in-depth aspects of this game that they've changed. Adding this new coaching camera as well is a really cool thing. So like if you do franchise mode and you don't ever want to play as your team, you could just play as the coach and even have that sideline coach camera. It's really, really fascinating to have that on there. My brother used to be a coach, and he thought that was a really cool addition as well. But being as in-depth as it is, I feel like it's such a massive improvement over the last 5 years of them really listening to fans and adding all different types of elements into the franchise mode to where you're able to, not just with your franchise, but you're able to add your team into leagues and play against other people and have all this, I mean, the replayability and the play styles and the choices that you have on franchise mode are really, really crazy. Something else that I really was just shocked by was the graphical presentation in this game, dude. Like, there was a lot of times that I mean, outside of just playing the game, I would put, like the Patriots against the Bills or the Bills against the Packers or Cowboys against the Seahawks or whatever. I'd put them on there and just get it to where the computer was playing. And, bro, like, it's like watching a real football game. Like, the graphics are so intensely improved. The players' movements, the style of play, the small little minuscule details that they've added into this game of like, when a play happens, it's not just the one individual player that's over there celebrating. The camera will cut and you'll see people off on the sidelines, knocking helmets together, or the coach running up and interacting with the player that just did this, really great play. Even at the beginning of the game, depending on where you're at, the beginning moments of the game, of those ceremonies that like Seattle has. And I think there was in the Seattle one, like Marshawn Lynch is up there like retiring his jersey. And I mean, it's just crazy, dude. Like, and it really looks and feels more realistic than we have ever seen. I am almost shocked at how visually stunning Madden 27 is. It is a stellar visual experience for, I don't even think just for sports fans, but for gamers in general. It is really crazy. My wife never sits in there and watches me play Madden. And recently, I just was playing the game, and she was, kind of made that statement of like, dude, this looks really good. Like, it looks kind of weird how realistic it is. And I'm like, that's what I've been saying, man. Like, it really does look so fascinating. I mean, every aspect. And then adding in the dynamic weathering system, not only does it change your style of play, but your overall visuals that they've added with that dynamic weather system, it really kind of changes the game in such a different way and makes it really feel like football is back, dude. Like, it really feels that way. Gameplay mechanics and stuff like that, I think, are really intensified too. There's so many different details that you can do of those kind of fine-tuned elements of changing your, not just your defense and your offense, but changing individual players' assignments. And I really like that. Like on PlayStation, holding down L1 and being able to change my individual character's assignment instantaneously without me having to, hold down, L1 and then push left and then, push this and that or whatever. It's very simplified, changing it to where, it's like you're watching for quarterback scrambling, you're watching for passing. You can instantly change that on the go as you're playing. And then during the game, I thought this was a really unique element as well. They started adding in like 26, you have the quotes from the actual coach of stating, he'll pop up during the game and say, hey, watch for possible pass. Or this. Now they have it even more intensified to where if you're playing the game and though, say you're using coach suggestions, and I know a lot of people don't do that, but I feel like, some people do. I use it every once in a while. But if you choose that highlighted coach suggestion play, when you choose that, if you get out there and then the AI coach notices that even though that is the play that he suggested, the overall, if you're on defense and or on offense, actually, I'm sorry, but defense or offense, and if he notices that the opposing team has a different layout than or play chose than what he actually had thought, or the defensive backs are set up different or whatever, it'll give you an option to hold down square and it'll make an audible instantaneously via the coach, which I thought was so cool, man. I thought that kind of adds that like quick end element to where you don't have to push square and then go through your plays or whatever else. If the coach feels, hey, I'm telling you, this run play that I just chose ain't going to work out. You need to switch to a slant pass, or you need to switch to a play action fake, or switch to a speed option or something like that. It can do that without you having to kind of go into that whole, mode of this, the screen camera backing up and changing the audible, whatever. I really just thought that element was super cool, man. I thought they have really impacted the style of play in a different way than what they had previous Maddens. Because I'll say Madden 25 and Madden 26, outside a couple of certain elements, I mean, it felt somewhat similar. But with this game, I feel like they've really massively improved the overall visual of the game in a different way, and made it feel more realistic. The players' running styles and movements and overall, I mean, it was completely revamped from the ground up. It feels like the players are not just always doing the same exact movements. There's certain individual movements depending on the player, or run styles. Gameplay elements have really, really been tightened up to make it feel better. Now, the one thing that is a challenge with those gameplay elements is the new kind of like user catching aspect. Like, you've got to be on point with that. Like, when you're throwing that ball, and if you are a big user catch guy or user pick person that you really like doing it by yourself, I mean, you've got to be on point. And there's a lot of styles of play that they've added in that are more kind of like, hey, it's going to challenge you more, but you can change that. In the setting mode and gameplay settings, you can actually change it to where it's like the classic style of gameplay. If that is irritating you or you're not really the best at it, you can change that style of play pretty quickly in that gameplay settings. But I feel like it kind of adds to the challenge of the game and how Madden is moving forward. It's it's not just that whole, when you throw an 80-yard pass and somebody's wide open, it's an instant catch. If you don't catch it right, it ain't going to be an instant catch, which I think is a really good added challenge. But visually stunning, the game is just great. Like I said, the challenging aspect of this is the kind of user catch aspect. They've made it a lot more difficult to just do those user picks and user catches instantaneously. Improved graphical presentation is a wonderful thing. I mean, the dynamic weathering system, the moments, the visual moments that they've added in of like the game starting and having these drone shows and all this other stuff. And then even like during the game, these sideline elements I thought it was really cool how last year they added in the whole Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night, type of setting, and how it changes, not just with the announcers, but it changes the theme of the intro and how the bottom bar, score bar looks. But they've kind of amplified that even more. It really is a visually stunning game. Now, as I said, playing online, I thought the connectivity was pretty fair. It was okay. I did not really play Superstar much. I'm not really a big fan of Superstar, to be honest, so I'm kind of leaving that out of my review. It's not really a mode that's for me. I don't know why. I've really, over the years, I've tried to kind of move into it more and play it more. I thought that the overall story elements of it are cool. I did play it somewhat. But it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know why. It feels different than it does in college football for some reason. And it wasn't really something that I even really focused on while playing the game. My main focus was checking out Ultimate Team, checking out franchise mode, playing online, playing quick games, and looking at the visual aspects, gameplay mechanics. I'll try to do a follow-up, maybe do an individual review just over Superstar. But the global launch has happened. It is now available for everyone. So if you get a chance, check the game out. But I think the one thing that was somewhat of a downer for me was the Ultimate Team aspect of the game. It's not my cup of tea, I guess, because I'm not going to be able to spend all the time and money in Ultimate Team to make my team the Ultimate Team. So I don't know, man. I think that the overall aspect of the game was really great. And I feel like the score that we're going to give it is a perfect score for this experience. I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. I think Madden 27 is a really great game. The one point that was really kind of deducted from that is the Ultimate Team aspect. Originally I was going to give it an 8.5, but I feel like it's fair to give it a 9 because everything else that I played I really enjoyed. Even Superstar, even though I didn't play it a lot, the gameplay mechanics and stuff are still good. The visuals are still really great. I know there's a really massive section of Madden fans that love Superstar and love playing it in competitive mode, as well as following that story of your Superstar. But I think what I need to do is play Superstar in college football, or play that section in college football, and then import my character from college football to Madden, and I feel like I'll have a little bit better of an experience. And maybe I'll do a follow-up on that later. But as I said, we're going to give it a 9 out of 10. I thought visually the game was just unbelievable, honestly. I feel like there's so many improved aspects. The franchise mode is crazy. You could do so much with your team now, and the coach's involvement and these new camera settings. The dynamic weather in the game is really crazy. It's a huge game changer, especially whenever you're playing against friends online or people online and you have that turned on. It's really crazy. But there's only so many times that you can actually have that setting turned on. So I feel it's best to do couch co-op. Have somebody come over, play with you, turn on that dynamic weathering system. Because you can only time it out so many times that it actually occurs and works properly. But as I said, 9 out of 10. I think the game is great. I feel like there's a lot of really great improvements with the game. Visually, unbelievably stunning experience. One of the best looking Maddens to ever be released, honestly. Gameplay-wise, I think they've added so many vital changes into the game to make it a better overall experience. As I said too, I wish there was a different way of playing Ultimate Team. I wish there was a way to where instead of it being so many aspects that are wrapped around you spending your own actual money to buy those cards, I wish there was a way that you could just gain XP by playing against a computer and then over time unlock more and more and more in-game aspects without spending actual money. But I feel like that's just how it's set up. You can unlock more characters by building XP, but you have to do the field pass and you've got to do all this other stuff. That's the only way that you can really do it. So, as I said, man, I think that it's a really unique experience, but I think that it could be even a better unique experience if we eventually, over time, move away from once a game has launched, spending a multitudes of of money on online passes and stuff like that. So I don't know. But anyways, 9 out of 10. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Talk to you soon. We'll have many other reviews and gameplay content out for you. Peace out.